Hello, and welcome back to the Follow Your Spark podcast. Today, we're going to be talking all about feelings for multiple reasons, which I'll get into. If you have ever struggled to feel your feelings, resisted feeling your feelings, feel like you can drown in your emotions sometimes and that really holds you back, and you want to be able to navigate your feelings and emotions with more ease and compassion and kindness so that they don't drain your energy and feel like they get in your way, this podcast episode today is for you. So stick around. If you're new to me, I'm Gina Casbarro, the host of the Follow Your Spark podcast, and I am so excited to be here with you today. So, why are we talking about feelings? One reason is because we are in the midst of eclipse season. We have a total lunar eclipse coming up this weekend on September 7th. And if you are into astrology at all, you might know that eclipse season brings with it a lot of sometimes chaos, intensity, unexpected twists and turns. Big things often pop off in your life, whether beautiful things or challenging things. And it often brings up things in your life, in your internal experience, to be healed, to be transformed, to be transmuted, so that you can step powerfully into this next chapter, having shed those old layers that you're ready to shed and release. So with all of those things, we often have feelings about them, right? Whether good or bad. Big changes, big curveballs often come with big emotions. And I know I've been experiencing some of that lately. Maybe you have too. So if you have been struggling to navigate some of that, this conversation is for you. And no matter what season, what time of year you are ever listening to this is still an incredibly potent conversation, because how we interact with our emotions has a tremendous impact on our well-being, on our experience of reality, on how much we feel stress compared to how much we feel joy. It impacts our energy. It impacts our capacity to pursue the things that really matter to us, to give energy to the things that really matter to us, all stemming from how we experience our emotions. So that is why this feels like such an important conversation today. And I've been hearing this echoed in my clients and in my community of big emotions coming up. And sometimes people really struggle to feel them and experience them. So that's why I really wanted to bring this conversation to the podcast right now. Okay, so before we dive into everything, let's just get on the same page with what are feelings? And is there any difference between emotions and feelings? So when I think about emotions, I think of immediate visceral reactions to something. This could stem from a survival response or a desire to protect ourselves. It might look like a racing heart or tightness in our stomach or our shoulders hunched over in this kind of like mode of protection. It could look like immediate tears. It's, again, an immediate bodily response in reaction to something. So that's what I think about when I think of an emotion. It's something you feel in your body very viscerally, very strongly, and it can come and go quickly. Versus a feeling is about interpreting or bringing awareness to that emotion, and is oftentimes much more connected to the thoughts going on that are triggering that feeling. So for example, something could have come up in a relationship or in your life that made you immediately feel the emotion of sadness. It sparked tears. You feel sadness in your body. And a feeling could be feeling hurt because of something, feeling ashamed because of something, feeling disappointed because of something, because of the thoughts that we make that circumstance mean. This person said something, therefore they hurt me. This person did something, therefore I'm feeling disappointed. It's how we are interpreting our experience and the meaning we give to people's responses, people's reactions, things people say, things we experience, all kinds of things. How we interpret the world through our thoughts then triggers these feelings that can last longer than emotions, especially if we're perpetuating the thoughts that are triggering those feelings. And no matter whether they're feelings or emotions, both of them are felt as sensations in our body that we can tune into and see what are those vibrations coming up? How do I feel physically when I am feeling that emotion or when I'm feeling that feeling? And let me give you an example that happened to me yesterday in real life. So I was driving to Whole Foods, and right before I was turning into the parking lot, I heard my car make some terrible noise. And I immediately pulled over and was trying to figure out what happened. I thought that maybe I ran over something. It was this very terrible noise. And immediately I felt a knot in my stomach and my chest tighten and my muscles contract. And that was an immediate emotion that I had in response to my circumstance. This very primal, survival based emotion that was just triggered immediately, maybe without a lot of conscious thought. And then as the circumstance continued to unfold, and I didn't know what was wrong, and I couldn't figure it out, and I needed to call AAA, then the thoughts start rolling in. This is super inconvenient. This is going to cost money I'd rather spend on a million other things. This could derail my plans for the rest of the day as well as next week. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the impact of this is going to be. All those thoughts started coming up, which elicited feelings of disappointment, feelings of frustration, feelings of worry. Those were the immediate thoughts that came to my mind. So before I go into how did I turn this around, what did I do from here, I want to share with you where I see people get tripped up the most when it comes to experiencing their emotions and feelings. The first thing I see people struggle with is labeling feelings as good or bad or right or wrong, judging themselves for having them, judging themselves for feeling afraid, judging themselves for feeling sad, adding additional thoughts and feelings and judgments on top of whatever emotions or feelings they're experiencing, seeing those feelings as inconvenient and they wishing they would just disappear as quickly as humanly possible. And this ends up being something that trips people up because the more we judge our emotions, the more we resist them, the stronger they get. It's like, have you ever tried to tell your mind, like, don't think about something or don't focus on something? And as soon as you do that, it grabs onto that thought even more. So as soon as you tell your brain or your body, you shouldn't feel sad, you shouldn't feel afraid, it's like this vice, this like pressure cooker that just has that build even more the more you try to stuff it down or push it away. And then again, what often happens when people judge their emotions or label their emotions as bad, they try to get rid of them as quickly as possible or feel better as quickly as possible. So that might look like numbing out with TV or even meditation. Doing anything to try to get rid of your feelings as quickly as possible can be, I don't want to use the word counterproductive because this isn't about being productive, but yeah, it doesn't get to the root of whatever it is you're experiencing. If you just put meditation on top of the thoughts or feelings you're experiencing and try to meditate those things away, that's still stemming from avoidance, resistance, judgment. Maybe not still, but sometimes is stemming from those things. And yeah, I used to think as I was beginning to learn more about feeling my feelings, embracing my feelings, I used to think, okay, I'm going to feel my feelings so that they go away as quickly as possible. That's the goal, right? To make the bad feelings go away, the quote unquote bad feelings go away as quickly as possible and feel more of the good feelings as often as possible. And I realized over time that I was still missing the point with that one because feeling feelings is not about making them go away as quickly as possible. It's about accepting the full spectrum of the human experience and accepting that sometimes we feel sad. Sometimes we feel ashamed. Sometimes we feel anxious. Sometimes we feel worried. And there's no need to judge ourselves for having those feelings. Another thing that I find that trips people up oftentimes when it comes to feelings and emotions is when I start talking to my clients about this, they often initially think that if I let myself feel my feelings, I'm just going to drown in them. They're just going to consume me. And what I really believe drains our energy the most isn't the physical sensation of the feeling. It's again about we're attaching truth to the thoughts that are triggering those feelings. And I'll talk more about that because our thoughts and feelings are absolutely correlated. They're also separate things that we can tease apart. So the feelings and emotions are the physical sensations we feel in our body. And the thoughts that we're having are often what are creating the feelings that we're experiencing. So I think that also contributes to this thought that I find people have sometimes, that it doesn't feel safe to feel my feelings. Like I'm going to drown in this abyss if I feel my feelings. And feelings can feel deep, right? They can impact us energetically to go deep into them. So I also feel like there's an art to be able to feel your feelings in a way that supports you, that embraces the human experience without resistance or fighting, and that also doesn't attach truth to the underlying thoughts underneath the feelings, which I find can be the thing that really pulls us down the most. So those are a few things that I find trip people up oftentimes. So what do? I find what can support people the most is to learn and practice how to feel emotions and feelings without judgment. And there's different ways to do this, which I guide my clients through in our sessions, of being able to feel the physical sensations in your body and actually tune into them and listen to them and see, what are they trying to teach you? Because they can give us valuable information. They can give us insights into what we value, what matters to us, into what's ready to be healed. They have so much information for us if we can embrace them and welcome them and be open to them instead of shaming ourselves for having this very human experience of having emotions. And again, this is about facing our feelings with friendliness and seeing what you can learn from them. I remember I had this dream, I think in like the past year, where I felt like I was being chased by this monster, and it was like chasing me throughout my whole house. And finally I could see it and sense it coming to the front door. And instead of running or hiding or waking up in a state of fear, which I feel like has often happened in the past when I've had dreams like this of being chased by something, and instead I found that I opened the door and faced this monster and offered them cookies. I offered them cookies and invited them into my house. And this really stuck out to me of this. I know that we can treat our emotions and feelings sometimes like these monsters that we have to outrun, that we have to avoid. And the whole like terror dissipated when I chose to open that door and invite that monster in for cookies. It was just a being, a spirit who was there, who was coming to connect with me. And when I let it in the house, it didn't hurt me, it didn't terrorize me, and I was able to connect and be with it and learn from it. And we have the same ability to do that with our feelings. So one thing that helps tremendously is learning to feel your feelings, embrace your feelings without judgment, without labeling them as good or bad or right or wrong, and seeing if you can be open to learn from them. The next thing that helps tremendously is being able to then examine the thoughts that are triggering the feelings. So this is a step that I find people often miss when they're worried about getting super lost in the feelings, is not really shining a light on what are those thoughts that are triggering the feelings to begin with. For example, for me in the car situation, when I was feeling frustrated and anxious and worried, the thoughts were all about the future, all about what was going to happen, all about what were going to be the negative consequences that I was imagining was going to happen from this. All those thoughts, that's what was contributing to and sparking the feelings that I was experiencing. So when you're able to shine a light on the thoughts, then you're able to do something about it. And we'll get into what that looks like in a second. Okay, so addressing the thoughts underneath your feelings is key. The next thing that can really help is embodiment practices that help you move stuck emotions and help you get out of your head and into your body to actually tune into what you're feeling and what you're experiencing. And that can be done through dance. It can be done through movement. It can be done through breath work. It can be done through meditation. And like I said, meditation doesn't have to be something that is masking or avoiding. It can be a powerful tool when we use it in connection, in collaboration with the thought work and all these other tools. So, embodiment practices can help you unearth the feelings and emotions that have maybe gotten stuck in your body because you haven't been present to them, or you've been avoiding them or resisting them, and help that stuck energy move through you, move up and out of you so that you can experience it and you can release it and you don't have to hold it in your body. So often I've had clients who have had chronic migraines and back pain and all these other stomach issues, all these physical sensations, that part of it is often stemming from our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts, and the resistance to all of those things. Because I'm sure you can imagine at some point in your life where you felt anxious or afraid and just like feeling that physical sensation in your body right now. That has an impact. When we tense our muscles, however imperceptibly, for long periods of time, that can lead to migraines. It can lead to other kinds of physical ailments in all kinds of ways. So by being able to shake this out physically, literally, can help move some of these emotions out and through your body. And the next thing that can be incredibly helpful that I want to touch on today is about tuning into your higher self, your future self, your inner wisdom that can help you shift out of the thoughts that have maybe been triggering some of those emotions that have been keeping you stuck or draining your energy, to help you see things from a different perspective and help shift you into a different emotional state, feeling state, vibrational state, and completely change your experience of reality. So those are some of the things that I have found make the biggest difference that can really help you to not have your feelings be something that gets in your way, be something that holds you back from living your life. And again, this is so important because, and I say this all the time, that I feel like what most people don't realize, and what something that I believe is one of the biggest things that impacts our ability to go after our goals, our ability to create healthy, deep, intimate relationships, our ability to take risks, to bet on ourselves, to follow our purpose, even when we're navigating the unknown, is our ability to feel our feelings. Because if we don't have this skill, what happens is we try to avoid any kind of situation that might elicit or trigger uncomfortable emotions. We avoid having that honest conversation because it feels scary, and we're worried what might happen if we have to feel anxious or guilty or like we disappointed someone or whatever it is. You might avoid taking actions in your business or avoid sharing yourself and your work publicly because you might have to risk feeling disappointed or rejected or embarrassed, all kinds of things. You might avoid taking a leap of faith or doing something new, making a change in your life because you are avoiding feeling worried, feeling uncertain, feeling doubtful. There's all kinds of decisions we might make on any given day that hold us back, that stem from not wanting to feel a feeling. So when you develop this skill and build up this muscle within yourself to be able to feel the full spectrum of human feelings with more ease and acceptance and compassion and peace, so much opens up for you. You all of a sudden become more courageous, compassionate, loving towards yourself. You develop a higher ability to take risks, to bet on yourself, to take leaps of faith because you believe you can handle it. You believe you can handle any emotion that comes up, and you're willing to feel any emotion that comes up because you know it's in service to living the kind of life that you want to live. And if that requires you to feel deep feelings, that's okay. And the beauty of being able to feel the quote unquote challenging emotions with more depth, with more acceptance, is that it also gives us the ability to feel beautiful things with so much more color, whether that's love, acceptance, gratitude, joy, awe, wonder, excitement, inspiration. All these beautiful things, you heighten your ability to feel those at a higher capacity as well when you're able to feel the challenging emotions at a higher capacity. It's like your heart expands what it's able to hold, and you build this muscle of feeling safe to feel all of it. So that is why I believe this skill is so important and transformational for every single one of us if we want to live our most bold, courageous, authentic life. So if you're feeling like, yes, I'm ready to develop this skill, I would love tools to support myself to do this, I want to offer you a really special opportunity that I have going on right now. It's called the Shine Your Light Activation. We did it live a couple weeks ago and it was incredible. The recording is available for a few more days until September 7th, until this first total lunar eclipse coming up. It's a 2-hour guided experience where you will, first of all, connect with your future self, this higher self wisdom, and begin to open up to what are the dreams and goals and desires on your heart from a place of possibility and really tuning into feeling that essence of your dreams, of your vision. So we'll spend time in a really beautiful meditation to help you open up to that. And then we'll talk about what are some of those thoughts that come up? What are some of the thoughts and feelings that get in your way when you think about this big, beautiful, bold vision? Because it's going to happen. Anytime we expand or want to expand out of our comfort zone, there's always going to be this tension and this push-pull from our past selves, from our old programs, old patterns that want to keep us stuck and held back. I don't want to get too deep into it here, and we dive into all of that in this activation so that you can really see for yourself what are those thoughts going on in your brain. And then we dive into how do you overcome that? Feeling your feelings is one huge part of it, and we'll explore 5 incredible tools that can really help you to move past and transform and see things from a different perspective, those things that have been keeping you stuck and the challenges that have been holding you back. So we dive into that. And then you'll be guided through an experience to move your body, to move emotions, to let go, to release, and also to feel the incredible, beautiful feelings associated with that big, bold vision. You'll expand your capacity to feel both. So if tears come, beautiful, let them. If joy comes, if laughter comes, beautiful, let them. You'll be held in this really sacred space and guided in an experience to help you feel through all of those things. And then there's opportunities woven throughout this time to connect with your inner wisdom, to connect with messages from your future self that can help guide you on your path and help shift you out of the limiting perspective you might have been having about your dreams, about your goals, and see things from a different perspective so that you can step into a different vibrational, emotional, feeling state and move forward in a new way. Because the other thing that happens is that people think that the way to achieve my goals, whatever my goals might be, is to make the perfect plan and figure out exactly how I'm going to get there. But the problem with this is what fuels our actions is how we're thinking and how we're feeling. And I get deep into this in the activation. So when you change what you're thinking and what you're feeling, that inspires completely different actions, which in turn creates a completely different reality. So being able to address and work with your thoughts and feelings essentially changes your life entirely. So if you are ready to see things from a different perspective, if you're ready to open up to your big dreams, big goals, big visions, and start learning how to feel all the feelings that might come with pursuing that dream, this activation is available for a few more days, and you can get access to it at ginacasbarro.com/shine your light. And to tell you a little bit about what the impact of this practice has had on me, For example, yesterday when I was going through all of these car troubles, I first gave myself space to feel these feelings, the immediate emotions that came up, the tightness in my stomach, the constricting muscles. I let myself take a couple deep breaths, a few tears came, and then I brought attention to those thoughts that were triggering the feelings of anxiety, worry, frustration, disappointment. And then I put my hands on my heart and I asked my future self, what messages do you have for me? What do you want me to know right now? And first she said, breathe. You're safe. Remember, you are safe right now. And then she started going on this beautiful rampage of all these other thoughts of things I could focus on. Like, isn't it beautiful that you have AAA and that someone can tow your car right now and get you home safely? Isn't it incredible that within the span of like 30 minutes, multiple friends called to check on you, to make sure you were okay, to offer you rides, to offer you support? What a blessing that you have such incredible friends and family in your life who are just a phone call away. Isn't it incredible that you have plenty of money in the bank that can cover whatever expenses come up? How abundant. What a blessing. You have so many gifts in your life right now. And what an incredible opportunity this is to practice surrender, to practice accepting what is, to practice bringing a friendliness to this moment and seeing what happens when you let go of resistance. Because like someone reminded me at Sparkle Space, a dance community that I'm in, and that morning, actually, right before my car broke down, they read this passage from the book A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And it was all about when you bring a friendliness to life, life brings a friendliness to you. So my future self, my higher self was reminding me, how can you bring a friendliness to this moment and trust that you are supported, you're guided, you can interpret this experience in a way that serves your highest good, you're protected, you're safe, you have everything that you need. So as I was able to ground in all of these new thoughts, I started feeling a peace, an acceptance, a surrender, a trust, even amidst the uncertainty. And yesterday was Sunday and today is Labor Day, so I'm not even going to know what's going on with my car until tomorrow. And I'm finding ways, to navigate the places that I have to go, and also allowing myself to drop into a space of trust and acceptance in this moment, even when I don't know what's going to happen. And that's what's possible when we feel our feelings, when we bring awareness to the thoughts and we're able to look at things from a different perspective. Because if I had kept going down that other rabbit hole of the thoughts and feelings I was experiencing immediately when this happened, I could see a whole downward spiral of where that could have gone and maybe where that would have gone in the past that could have completely derailed my day, my week, so much worse than just dealing with the circumstance that was in front of me. So today I'm able to go about my day, I'm able to work, I'm able to be joyful, I'm able to be grateful, I'm able to be happy, regardless of what's going on, because I can meet this moment with that friendliness. And that's what's possible for you. Again, this isn't about not having quote unquote challenging emotions. Give yourself permission to have those. They're human to have whatever experience you're having. You don't have to judge yourself. And this isn't about making them go away. It's about being able to accept whatever you're experiencing in the moment, feeling it fully, learning from it if it has a message for you or something that would serve you to learn, and being able to look at, examine, shine light on what are those thoughts. So that if you realize those thoughts aren't actually true, they're not actually serving me, then you can choose new thoughts. You can begin to practice and build new beliefs that can completely transform your experience of life. So if you are ready for that, again, go to ginacasbarro.com/shine your light. My intention is this is something that really supports you through this eclipse season, a time that can spark all kinds of emotions. So I hope it serves you. And after you take yourself through it, I would love to hear what your experience was like. So feel free to comment anywhere that you are listening to this podcast or reach out to me on social media. I would absolutely love to see and hear what opened up for you. All right, my friend, I'm wishing you a beautiful, transformative eclipse season, whatever your experience is like, and I will talk to you soon.